Hi, I'm Robert Moody, Music Director of the Portland Symphony Orchestra. Welcome back to Online Insights. The second Tuesday classical program of the 2013-2014 season is going to be a great journey with some interesting threads of connection. I'll tell you from the outset that we are doing something slightly different in this concert. We are doing what sometimes conductors call turning a program upside down. Often the major orchestral work will be in the second half of a performance and the solo concerto will be in the first half. We've actually switched that for this concert. So working backwards, we end with a Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto played by Jennifer Koh. Before intermission, we have two works, both by American composers, John Adams' Dr. Atomic Symphony and Aaron Copland's Suite from the Tenderland. About a decade ago, the great American composer John Adams wrote an incredibly important and poignant opera. It's called Dr. Atomic. It was premiered by the Metropolitan Opera in New York City, and actually if you go on their website you can stream and download the entire opera. I would encourage doing that before coming to the concert. Dr. Atomic tells the story of the last days in 1945 between the time of the surrender of Germany to the Allies and the surrender of Japan in World War II. This was the important time for the development of the atomic bomb because, as you probably know from history, suddenly the pressure was on Oppenheimer, Dr. Oppenheimer, and other scientists in New Mexico to complete the atomic bomb. They wanted to use this as the option instead of a mass assault of soldiers into Japan. I think we all know the history and we know what happened. This opera focuses on the stress and the angst and turmoil and questioning of those decisions that happened during that time period. Such a wonderful and powerful opera, and John Adams later wisely made an incredible symphony just for orchestra, about a 25-minute piece based upon themes from the opera. So as you hear this piece, you will hear several characters. The low brass, for example, they represent the generals, the ranking army officials who were putting immense pressure on Dr. Oppenheimer. Violin solo and later oboe solo represent Oppenheimer's wife, who had strong misgivings about the ethics of what was happening and said so to her husband. Finally, you hear what I think is one of the most beautiful modern trumpet solos ever written, as this extended solo for trumpet is telling of Oppenheimer's own inner turmoil. Incredibly powerful piece, and one that I'm so proud to give as our premiere here with the PSO. There are some interesting threads of connection between the opening work, John Adams' Dr. Atomic Symphony, and the other works in the program. Some of them are quite loose, but I hope you'll find them interesting. I do. The second piece in the program, before intermission, will be Aaron Copland's Suite from the Tenderland. I wanted to find a piece of music that worked in complete juxtaposition against the Dr. Atomic Symphony, but I also wanted to work by an American composer. So we have two American composers in the first half of the concert. John Adams, the great living composer, Aaron Copland, universally understood to be one of, if not the greatest American composer to date. Aaron Copland gave us so much incredible music, The Fanfare for the Common Man, Lincoln Portrait, Rodeo, on and on. He wrote an opera called The Tenderland, and it's very much a pastoral setting. It's based on a wonderful, simple living farming community, and the end of The Tenderland is a great finale called The Promise of Living. And it seemed to me that this juxtaposition of the turmoil brought to the earth by the atomic bomb and the great humanity and peace found in The Promise of Living were a perfect marriage for the first half of the concert. After intermission, we move to a work that is not by an American composer, by the great Russian composer Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky's Violin Concerto, absolutely one of the most famous pieces in the world. It would be very difficult, I think, to find someone for whom, if we played you the tune, you wouldn't immediately know this work. Incredibly virtuosic piece for the violin, and therefore needs a world-class violinist, and we have that in Jennifer Koh. I am proud to say that Jenny Koh is a great friend. I have worked with her several times. We have performed concertos with orchestras around the country, and I was so excited to be able to bring her here to Portland. As with our other artists, Orly Shaham earlier in the season, Jenny has played with the great orchestras of the world. She opened the New York Philharmonic season last year as an example. The nice connection between Jenny and the theme of the first half of the concert is that in addition to playing concertos with orchestras, she also travels quite a lot, premiering a version of the opera Einstein on the Beach by Philip Glass. And once you see Jennifer Koh, you'll see she's a really gorgeous woman of Korean heritage, but for Einstein on the Beach, she actually has to go into full costume, and when she's playing this role and playing the violin, she looks like Albert Einstein. So Einstein had such a great deal to do with the physics and the mathematics that brought the atomic bomb into existence. So there's a loose connection there, but it's a reason to, I think, celebrate great humanity and, of course, great music. See you at the concert.